gentlemen, this is Ukulele Bill, and this is Walking. Today went walking early on a nearby track. It was misting, all like rain, just put on a sweatshirt. When it started raining harder, went home. After lunch, it was just light rain again, went walking. Folks, if you can walk, try to make every effort. Do not have to walk for miles. If you're at lunch at work, have your meal instead of talking to people over on the phone. If you own a dog, dogs need exercise. Also, it's the best exercise. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a dog needs exercise, so that's a good way of walking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Never Rich. Bitch, Bill, you're not a rich man. I am not a rich man. Never be a rich man too. If I were a rich man, if I were a rich man, if I was a rich man too, I would buy the Barker room, at 1661 N. It's on Block Island. I wouldn't buy anything that comes with responsibility. Find out after being voted Performer of the Year in Hollywood. Oh man, hey, folks, I always have the wildest imagination. That's why I'm able to write songs. Now this one here is called Mistake. Wow, don't we have a lot of them, folks? Oh, we. If you find life is not kind, take a minute to reflect. Life is all about, mistake of being a CNA. Well, that was like, if I was a CNA, I'd always have a job. Well, I could have become a great saxophone player. I was not hired for a hospital, which I wanted to do, but a nursing home. I could have worked in a nice assisted living, made good money, but I could not get full-time at the time. Probably could have had it in a couple of weeks, but of course my father would say, William, you need benefits. Well, of course what Dad said, always obeyed, had a lot of respect for my folks. Found out too late, the hospital was not hiring, but when I was finally a CNA, I would have become a registered nurse. Well, however, it happened. My grandfather had tremors. My father had tremors. But don't you know, when I'm a CNA, going to become a registered nurse, I got the tremors. Can you just imagine me with the tremors, trying to give the needle to somebody? Oh, shucks, missed the spot. Maybe I'll try again. Well, if I found out that when I got the tremors, I was younger, but folks, I could have stayed with the saxophone. Yeah, I was supposed to become a registered nurse, but then, well, with my luck, that's what happened to me, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a. Wait to hear this title of this song. Man, do I write them, huh? This song is What Gets Me Mad. Whoa, here we go. What gets me mad? The people who did other songs. Well, they recorded them and made a lot of money. I write my own and how to get anything. Well, why do I spend time as a professional? Why don't I get a sponsor to help spread my music? Well, you know, folks, then I have to pay somebody. Well, you know, I don't know, folks. Well, I'm online. That's not the way to get a larger audience. Well, you know, but I like what I do. Would have been better if I was on radio. A lot more people would have heard my music. Well, hey. I hope, though, while I'm still alive, wishing and hoping will come, but that's Hollywood, folks. You try to get it to the entertainment business. You got to realize that, hey, some people made it in Hollywood, some people did not make it in Hollywood. However, folks, I plan on being there at the end of 2026. Whoa, man, do I have a wild imagination. Yeah. Okay. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is called 50s and 60s. When the 50s and 60s, the generation, songs were most simple and went viral easier than back then. However, when the British invasion came in, many teen idols lost their identity and was lost. As generations change, so the type of music, if they cannot write or play that type of music, they are out. This is the tribute to the Beatles. Looking at the Beatles, and one wanted a solo career, and presto changeo. Well, that's the way things go. I write my own music. Since I make no money, I don't have to worry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wait to hear the next song. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do I get lost here? This one here is, of course, I worry. Boy, do I worry about what I do? Of course. In order to attend Hollywood at the end of 2026, I need to buckle down. I cannot harmonize because it's my own. Do not have to worry about others' instruments, only ukulele. If another person, well, more, headaches. That is why never get anywhere. Also, only online, not on radio, would expand my music. Something, ladies and gentlemen, I love what I do, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, and now I'm doing it here, especially here at Channel 9. And ladies and gentlemen, this here is another song. Folks, and I may not be the greatest songwriter. However, if I like what I do, then that's it, folks. Okay, this one here is I Try. Yeah, here we go, folks. Jesus. Oh, maybe I should have became a comedian. Hey, who knows? This is I Try. My wife's always against me. When it comes to my entertainment, it seems if I have an idea for a new song, she says that's it. All I see, there is more to life. I write my music. I'm trying to be a professional. I think I am. I never need to have to worry about someone stealing my music. Let's face it, folks. If someone steals my music, they would be laughed out of the town. That's why I write my own music. At least I try. That's it with me, ladies and gentlemen. I love writing songs. But hey, okay, now this is called, it's called Enter Business. Whoa, here we go. What do I expect at 78? Trying to entertain a business where perfection is writing as song. That is not true. My imagination can only run for so long. That is why people will need an imagination. Some people say, how long their work, go home and sleep. My wife leaves at 6 o'clock and returns at home at 6. She's my wife, and she's twice as old as all these kids who think they work maybe 4 hours a day, maybe part-time, and they are so tired. Well, after my wife gets home at 6 o'clock at night, after leaving for 6 o'clock in the morning, she still has something like 4 hours of work waiting at home. Yeah, today's kids, they don't want to work. But I got 2 kids here, they're always busy. And they enjoy what they do. And come to find out, they even make me sound better than what I think I am. All right, folks. I tell you, my wild imagination, I'm going to take Hollywood by storm. Oh, whoopie-doo. I'm going to take Hollywood by storm. No one will stand. No one's going to get in my way. Going to win every category. People, when they used to laugh at me, but when I win everything, they will be laughing no more. They will be jealous of me when I take Hollywood by storm. Will I buy a huge mansion, woo, tongue-tied, no siree. I will have my ranch house. I will remodel my ranch. So on. Nobody will know how much money I have after I take Hollywood by storm. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a mission of mine. You know what I mean? My mission was to have my own business and, entertainment business. And guess what, folks? I have that. Now, this is called job. Woo-wee. When I used to be on the front desk yet, from 6 to 10, I always presented myself with a professional look. Every time I went for a job interview, always looked professional. Went to a local restaurant one time. The workers always looked good, nice clothes. A girl came in looking for a job. She walked off the street. She had torn jeans. The owner, one look, did not hire her. At the health club where I worked, well, kids came in looking bad. If you're looking for a job, folks, always look professional, no matter what the place is. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, every time I went looking for a job, I went for a health club. And people said that I overdressed. White shirt, tie, sport coat. When you're looking for work, always present yourself with a professional look. I don't care if it's a landscaping place. I don't care what kind of job is. If you're going to look for a job today, kids, always look professional. But who's going to listen to me? I'm just a has-been at 78. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm always tired. Oh, God. I'm always tired. I need to come up with new songs every day for Thursday. I used to go to the YMCA in Attleboro every morning. I would go exercise every morning in the pool. Then one day made changes. Why? I paid for the year one day. Paid YMCA at Seacock, Bally's Newport Avenue. Worked at Bally's. Well, I remember. And also worked at World Gym. Ladies and gentlemen, every day I try to think of new songs and I try to record them as a professional. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna take that as my mission. And I'm gonna really from today. Don't worry, folks. I'll make it there. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is when I worked for the bank. Now, get this one, folks. A year after they got rid of me, they went under. Well, that's what they get for getting rid of me, folks. Hey, what can I say? When working for the bank, always wanted to be the purchasing manager. So when that happened, but when the messages did not show up, guess who had to go on the road? I filled in, you guessed it. Same when the checking account statements had to be mailed out. And guess what? The other two messages never showed up. Well, guess who had to go and down at the home office and help send them out? Now, when the messages were out, the big boys had bank cars. So when I went out on the road, guess what? The big shots decided to go home earlier. So why do you think the bank went under? Yeah, folks. Hey, was I glad that the bank went under? Well, yeah. Was I glad that a lot of my friends lost their jobs because of it? No. If the bank knew how to run correctly, guess what? Hey, but that's long gone, folks. Hey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is potential. Oh, God, here we go. You may be homeless. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Pick yourself up. Everyone has potential. Whether you might sing, there are people who were homeless. They found they had something to offer. Pick up a can and a stick, maybe, and just make music. Start somewhere. Set a goal. Even, pick up cans and bottles, redeem them for money. Sing. Maybe you had a great voice. You have a brain. So use it. Better yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, people go, oh, I'm helpless, I'm helpless. Let me tell you something, folks. A lot of people were homeless, and they found out their good points, and they became much better. Okay, this is Walking Gates. Oh, ho, ho. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm walking through the gates of heaven, being watched by people on Facebook. Oh, what's this? The girls are showing themselves? Oh my gosh. That makes no sense. Like I never saw a girl, but I mean, come on. I'm supposed to be walking through the gates of heaven. Before something feels different. Like, what is this place? It's supposed to be heaven. Yes, am I dreaming? Or am I alive? I hope I'm dreaming. As I walk through the gates, when start beautiful. Yes, I'm dreaming. Yes, it was a dream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed my show today as much as I love being here at Channel 9. That's my mission, folks. Hey, my ukulele sounded better today. It wasn't out of tune. Hey, I don't think, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed my half hour here. And, good night, sleep tight, and pleasant dreams to you. Here's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm living it. And though it's always sweet sorrow to part, you know you'll always remain in my heart. Good night, sleep tight, and pleasant dreams to you. Here's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. And so till we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember, Lawrence Welk is on every Saturday and Sunday nights now on PBS. And as Lawrence Welk always said, folks, keep a song in your heart. This is Ukulele Bill saying, see you next week, folks. Bye-bye.